Sundance Ridge is one of the most asked about new home communities in Overland Park right now. And for good reason. It's one of the biggest ever master plan communities the city has ever seen. And in this video, you're gonna find out everything you need to know about it. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, my name is Nick Massa. I'm a new home specialist, so I help people who are local in Kansas City and people who are relocating here, either buying move-in ready homes or building from the ground up. And on this channel, that's the type of content you'll see. Hit that subscribe button so you're the first to see updates like this about brand new communities or communities as they develop, market updates, property tours, and everything in between. Let's get started. Now, before I tell you exactly where Sundance Ridge is, we've got to lay some groundwork. So here's the deal. In Overland Park in Olathe, that's where you'll find just a wreck of new home communities. All the new subdivisions are out there, and they fall along what I call the new homes corridor. Here's a picture so you can get an idea. They're all just a couple blocks north or south of 175th Street. But if we follow that line, that corridor, all the way to State Line, that's where you'll find Sundance Ridge. So here's a little video tour to show you exactly where it falls. You're directly south from downtown Kansas City. You're right up against State Line, and you've got acres upon acres upon acres of green space that has never been touched before now. At Sundance Ridge, you'll find some premier home builders, some of the best home builders, and we'll cover them in depth here shortly. But you've got about 700 total home sites that will be developed here, and there is only room for expansion. So you can imagine the amount of capital and the scale of this project given those details. Now here's the catch. It's about 35 minutes south of downtown Kansas City, which, hear me out, I know that sounds very far away, and it would be just a decade ago. There is basically nothing out here, but that's changing very quickly as, builders build to meet population demands. And we all know that retail follows residential, which is exactly why shops, restaurants, and everything in between are slowly making their way out as south as Sundance Ridge. Now, don't worry, because of course you've got all of the shops at 151st Street, and if you want to go further than that, you've got 135th Street. But if you don't want to venture that far away, keep in mind on the other side of State Line is Loch Lloyd, another gated resort-like style community. Well, everybody in this area, Loch Lloyd and Sundance Ridge, they find themselves going to Belton, Missouri, which is just across State Line, about 10 minutes or under, and you've got all of the grocery stores, shops, and restaurants you could possibly want. Now, Sundance Ridge does fall in the Blue Valley School District, and just like retail follows residential, so do the school systems. The Blue Valley School District obviously is one of the highest, basically the number one school district in the entire state of Kansas. It's got crazy name recognition. You certainly know about it whether you're from Kansas or from outside of Kansas. I can tell you that most of the questions I get from people relocating here are regarding the Blue Valley School District. And to prove the demand, there's even an on-site elementary school. They're opening up brand new elementary schools on site in these brand new communities because there's so much demand for this area. Now, it will take a few years until that elementary school is actually open. So for now, you're looking at Stillwell Elementary, you're looking at Blue Valley Middle School, and of course, Blue Valley High School. So now that we've covered the location and the schools, what in the world do these different neighborhoods look like? Well, we're gonna get the map tour back up on the screen, and you can see the neighborhood, the location marker that's at the top of the screen, that is Big Sky. Big Sky happens to be the most expensive neighborhood in this community. Prices range from $1 million all the way up to over $2 million. You've got some of the most highly regarded custom luxury home builders that are building in that specific neighborhood. Now, right next to it, you've got Red Fox Run, which falls between $750,000 all the way up to over $1 million. Now, the marker on the screen that's the farthest south is Archer's Landing. The Blue Valley Elementary School will actually be in the middle of Archer's Landing, and in this neighborhood, you can expect prices ranging from $600,000 and all the way up to $1 million. Now, there are some subtle differences between these other than just the prices. For example, in Big Sky, you'll find several walkout lots with no neighbors behind you, and I think based on the value, keep in mind that you can pick the lot And once you build the home, you can change anything in the home, but you can't change the lot the home is built on, which means that when you're building a home or choosing a home to purchase, the lot is probably the most important part of the deal. It's what creates inherent value in the home and makes sure that you can recoup all of your money, if not make money when you go to sell it. That's one of the questions I get most often is we want a walkout lot with no neighbors behind, and you'll find that at Big Sky. The prices are pretty reasonable. They're between about $180,000 go all the way up to $250,000. In some other luxury communities, like I can tell you for a fact in Lockloyd, just across state line, you're going to be paying upwards of $500,000 for one of those lots alone. In another premier community like Cedar Creek in Olathe that I think can be kind of comparable, it's on the Shadow Glen Golf Course, those lots are also for $500,000. Now in Red Fox Run, you are not going to find a lot of walkout lots like you will in Big Sky, but these are good sized lots that are very, very reasonably priced. And the same is true of Archer's Landing. Again, these are very flat. You're not going to find a ton of walkout lots, but in Archer's Landing, the lots get just slightly smaller. Now, Sundance Ridge doesn't just stand out because of the location or the types of builders that you'll find in there or the quality and the size of the lots based on the pricing, but it also stands out because of the amenities. See, every new home community will have some basic level of communities, whether it's like a small pool with a little splash pad, a small little pond with no fish in it, or some trails that really connect to, the city's park trail system, or something of that nature. In Sundance Ridge, you have a clubhouse that costs way over $5 million to produce. You've got 2 huge pools, the classic Rodrock slide into the deep end of the pool. On the lower level of the clubhouse, you've got a fully built out gym decked out with cardio machines, whether ellipticals, treadmills, etc., a full cable weight machine. You've also got some small weights like medicine balls and dumbbells. Upstairs, you've got a fully built out kitchen for entertaining and bigger events. And right next to the main clubhouse, you've got a full blown gymnasium, which serves as a basketball, volleyball courts, anything that you could possibly want. Of course, outside of the clubhouse and the pool area, you've got a full on playground. You've got pickleball courts, bocce ball, and then you've got fishing ponds in each of these neighborhoods. So 3 fishing ponds throughout the community. You've got a community garden. Now back to the fishing ponds. These are not just ponds that are pretty to look at. They are pretty to look at, by the way. They are fully stocked with fish. In fact, Rodrock brought in trucks full of just water and fish inside of them. They have this big tube that comes out of the truck, and they just dump all of the fish into the pond. And apparently it was quite an event, but this will be fully stocked so you can go fishing in any of these neighborhoods. How cool is that? Now, finally, we've got the builders in Sundance Ridge, and you can rest assured that, of course, Rodrock is bringing in some of the best home builders that you could find in Kansas City to build in this community. But when they're bringing builders into these communities, they're not bringing in builders who are going to produce a low quality product, make customers unhappy, or just not uphold their promises. They're bringing in the best of the best. So of course, the first honorable mention is Rodrock Homes. I'll link my tour of their Durham plan, which is a model home that you can find currently in Red Fox Run right here. Very cool 2-story floor plan. You'll also find some other very high-end luxury home builders from Kansas City. You'll find Starr Homes, Walker Custom Homes. You'll also find J.S. Robinson Homes. All of these guys are going to build a really, really, really high-end product. Most likely, the first time you talk with them about building from the ground up, they're going to sit down with you, a pen and paper, and they're going to draw out exactly what you're talking about. So your ideas come to life on their paper, and then they build that for you, which is really, really cool. You've also got some other premier home builders like Rob Washam Homes. I'll link my tour of one of his award-winning homes right here so you can take a look at it. James Engle Custom Homes. He's also in that top 5 home builders category. He's also in that top 5 home builders videos. He builds a lot of homes with really, really good finishes. Here's a link to his Kelly EXP property tour, so you can check it out. You've got Doyle Construction, who's got some of the craziest finishes I think I've ever seen in a home. Here's their Arcadia plan, which is just jaw-dropping. And of course, this is not the full list. These are just some notable mentions. Last but not least, we've got Hilmann Home Building, who builds in several other new home communities between Olathe and Overland Park. And here's their Chesapeake Ranch 2 property tour that I'll link for you above. Now, here's the deal when you're trying to find the best builder. Well, it comes down to exactly what floor plan you like, the process the builder uses, what you feel about other homes that builder's built, and finally what the warranty process looks like with each particular builder. Those subtleties will make up the bulk of your decision, but on face value, a lot of these builders are using similar materials, they're using similar vendors, and they all are very, very experienced and skilled in their work. If you have any questions about buying a home in Sundance Ridge, picking the best builder, finding a lot that has like some really specific feature, maybe a 2-story floor plan on a walkout lot, which is really, really rare, whether you're from Kansas City or you're relocating to Kansas City, I would love to help you out. All of my contact info is in the description. Give me a phone call, email, or text message. I'm gonna be here for you. I'm gonna make myself available to help you so you don't have to worry about what's the first step, what do I do here? I know it's a confusing process, and my goal, my job, is to make it easier on you. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe so you're the first to see updates about Sundance Ridge, property tours, market updates, and other new home communities around the Kansas City area. I'll see you on the next video.